Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, everybody. So it is Black Friday. I'm often not streamed on Black Friday because I like to go and like stay in line, try and get free stuff and so forth. But didn't really see any deals like that this year, and I'm not really buying anything this year. So thought we would come and watch the market. Some things, interesting things do happen on Black Friday. Especially you get some of the first data about Black Friday sales. Does move the market and so forth, and gives us really interesting insight into the economy, because today is like possibly the most economically important day of the year. The day goes poorly, which I kind of suspect it might. That has like huge knockoff effects for the rest of the year. I've never seen that happen though before. In all of my over a decade of trading, the Black Friday almost always goes well. So we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, I want to do a little bit of back testing and so forth. So also we should roll over. So first thing I'm noticing is that I am not. Okay. That's weird. Oh, okay. These ones have not been rolled over for some reason. That's weird. I'm going to roll over some of these contracts first. Better. F8. Okay. Now we get to move these over to December. I think that's right, at least. It's not showing me anything yet, so maybe I'm wrong. Oh, nope. It is. Okay. We're good. We're good over there. Okay, so then what I would like to do is a little bit of back testing and so forth. So does look like some of my changes as per market order imbalance and cumulative delta still appear to be working correctly. And my change to synthetic dollar index. Robert, good morning. How are you? I made a change to the dollar index for Uzi that was actually like a real pain to do. So I hope he appreciates it when I show him. Oh yes, let's make sure our new squawk is going. It is not at the moment, so move that up. Been thinking about a bunch of things because I really want to try and like expand the indicators a little bit. Like it's in a pretty good spot. I really think we can push it. Need to do, I guess I need to do some keyword research and so forth, huh? Yeah. So I was thinking we're going to sell the indicator suite for $200 for a lifetime license. And I want to sell like 100 of them a month. That or is it 150? More like 150. Between 100 and 150 a month. Well, for our keyword, there is an average of 1 to 10K monthly searches. So even if we were getting 1 to 10%, we could reach our goal. Need to learn all about Google Ads all over again because it's been such a long time since I've looked at any of that. I see. Oh, I had sorry, I had chat covered up here. El Latin morning. It's cold here. It got cold, pretty cold here in Utah. There's a big weather change coming across the United States, right? So. Amir, good morning. Okay, I was diving into the keyword tool over here. I should probably do that later. Meta plans to build a $10 billion subsea cable spanning the world, according to TechCrunch. Another thing that happened over the weekend is I feel like I watched some things and I feel like I should be putting more effort into Twitter. I think that means finding other people and leaving lots of comments. Yeah. And Steffa, good morning. Yeah, well, at first I was like, I don't know, is anybody gonna come on Black Friday? But then I remembered that a lot of you guys aren't even here in the US, so just a normal day for you guys. Oh yeah, okay. So what I wanted to do though was I wanted to test my indicators, and I don't want to be like refreshing this and screwing up my data over here. Oh, I'm not getting anything. I'm still in don't spend any money mode, Amir. The wife has a bunch of cash from grandma to buy kids presents, but I don't know what she's doing with it. But I'm not buying anything. I think we should put it on oil. Let's do our testing on oil, shall we? Crude oil futures, 1 minute. We only want to load 2 days worth of data. Optimize candlestick. Good. So, let's see here. Test number 1. Are we allowed, if we add the synthetic dollar index to this chart, which has an expiration of January, does it still select the correct one? It does. Ta-da! Oh. It should have the default be candles. Cool. Let's fix that. Oh, do I not have an editor window open? I'll open it up over here. What was the property called? Find it. There. I guess I should note for you guys our jigsaw code. Put that here in chat. You're gonna buy jigsaw this week. So I guess today is the last day you have opportunity to do it. You get $100 off if you buy it through that link. Okay, let's try this again. I'm just gonna remove it and go add it back. And it automatically does candles. Ta-da! Okay. Okay. So now the next one would be turn on tick replay and add our cumulative delta. Should I gray historical bars? I don't know if it really matters. But you know what I need to do though is I need to add it twice and have one of them be, let's have the first one be the on each tick and the second one be on bar close. I haven't tested this, so this might not work. Let's see. Curious. Oh, because this data point is 0 at the moment. So it's giving me the correct values. It's working correctly. Is just not picking the open up correctly. So let's fix that. Where'd it go? Okay. So it's only an issue for the bar that's starting. I see. I'm going to pull out the debugger here. Confirm a theory. Oh, so for that, I don't want to do that. You know, I really need a way. maybe I can do it with a. Oh, actually, I'm really not sure how I can do this. I really need a way to like come in and like do debugging and stuff without disrupting NinjaTrader of the day. Like multiple versions of NinjaTrader or something like that. It won't let you open it twice, right? Yeah, I wouldn't even have the link. So I would have thought, oh, maybe it will not work the first bar, but then as soon as we get a second bar, it should work. And that didn't happen. So now I'm trying to figure out why it's getting set to 0. Whereas, because I never set that thing to 0. Which version of NinjaTrader do you have? Question. It is 8.28.0. I never went to 8.1. I don't know. Maybe in the new year I will sort that out. I can like get maybe pay for the I forget the name of it, but there's another data feed, and I can just have NinjaTrader going off of the other data feed. And then that would allow me to use my full license. Okay, so yeah, the previous bar gets set correctly. There's some things about the way that, so because I'm able to get this to work correctly on each tick or on bar close, it kind of makes me wonder like why I would ever want to use on each tick. So whatever. Should note that it looks like that there's a bit of a buy-in balance today in the treasuries, isn't there? 51. Yeah, well, I'm going to go right here and I'm just going to add a print statement. was a child. 650 is a little bit too early for you, bud. I was thinking more like 7:30 or 8. Well, he hasn't made any more noises. It's probably just a bad dream. It's working for, so why is it not? Why don't you trade Bitcoin futures? They seem to be trending quite heavily. I think that trading Bitcoin is a crapshoot on a day trading basis. Well, actually, I shouldn't say it's a crapshoot. Basically what tends to happen is you'll do really, really well during a bull market, and then you'll lose everything in one day. So, another way that I could put it is, I don't really think that we have an edge day trading Bitcoin futures. I think that what happens over there is mostly a matter of whether Michael Saylor is buying that day or not. And I don't know how to predict whether he's doing that. All right. So why is it not updating the thing? Oh, so very confusing. So I don't think the bug is there. You know what the other thing, though, Bison, is that I just really dislike the Bitcoin community, to be honest with you. I just, the people that the channel and the stream would tend to attract when we were promoting Bitcoin things were not, they did not contribute as much. I'm not going to say that they were necessarily dumb, because there was a lot that came through from that were actually very, very bright. But they tended to not contribute very much, and that's kind of the thing that I feel about Bitcoin in general, is that I don't think that Bitcoin contributes anything to society. There was an idea there that maybe had some value to society, but now it's basically just become a giant Ponzi scheme. It's not necessarily a Ponzi scheme, but like it has many of the qualities of a Ponzi scheme, which like it's not generating fundamental value underneath. It's you're just making money off of other people getting into it. And so I kind of at some point decided that I just didn't want to be a part of that anymore. There it is. Why is that? You still see Garlic Coin moving to previous highs? Maybe not. I mean, I think that whether it does or not there's maybe a bit of random chance to it. So there's kind of this interesting dual thing with it. Like Garlic Coin does have low supply, and so that really helps it. If it was something like Dogecoin, then we'd be screwed, right? But it hasn't resulted in Garlic Coin price really consistently moving up so much as it has kind of put a floor on it, you know? Because the truth of the matter is that there's just not a lot of activity in Garlic Coin. It was, a lot of people viewed it as a pump and dump, which it kind of was. I mean, it had a big community behind it, but there was people pump and dumping it. And so they're not interested in it anymore because of that, right? So there's still a chance that it picks up in the future, but and I think a really, really good chance, but there's going to be a large amount of luck to that, right? And then there's this other side, which is that it tends to go up with Bitcoin. So it's doing okay right now. I actually was looking at it the other day. I pull it up. Recent searches Garlic Coin. See, I was here the other day. And if we come to like the last month, it was almost 2.5 cents, which is pretty good because it more recently it's tended to be, well, if we do like the past year, for instance, yeah, it's been more at 1 cent. So in the past month, something has happened, right? So I think it could go there. I mean, the crazy thing is that it wouldn't take very much for Garlic Coin to just like really pop off, right? And once you get a certain amount of interest, last time I really thought it was going to happen, and somebody kind of short-circuited it. but you get a run going for long enough, it builds that interest, and then it could really, really go, right? But then the other side of that is that in order for me to take profits, it would need to be on a larger exchange, right? I always have whenever I think about that, I have fantasies like Coinbase decides to list garlic coin, but where are they going to get enough garlic coins to do that? Hey, Coinbase, I'll sell you my wallet, and you can use my wallet as your initial liquidity. Huh? I'm adding more than today. Well, and I think one of the interesting things about it is, like, people do seem to understand that garlic coin can pop off really easily, but you need more than that. You need more than that. Like you need to have a persistent buying campaign, right? Like, you need to come in and buy a little bit every day for like 6 months or something like that. And if it was a significant enough amount to keep the price going, but the key is that persistent buy pressure to get the interest. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Bison, thanks for clarifying. It was just my assumption that Bitcoin follows its historical cycle quite predictably. One could reasonably expect the uptrend to continue until the end of 2025 and take advantage of the directional bias. So yes, but I wouldn't day trade it in doing that, right? I would just buy and hold. And yada yada yada, and don't use leverage, right? Just I'm gonna put $1,000 into it. You buy and hold the $1,000 and just hang on to it, right? What was I doing here? Oh yes, make sure that compiles. Probably compiled it last time, but I just forgot. Okay, I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna try a kind of a little hack here. I'm just, instead of getting it from that other series, I'm just gonna get the previous close. Oh snap, you're streaming today? Yeah, well, I said I was gonna stream today. Hey, I got something for you. Here, I'll just show you. I'll just show you in this chart. So I have a chart of oil, right? Okay. And I go to indicators. Oh, you're on mobile? Oh, okay. I won't bother sending it to you. I'll wait until, it's like ready for beta anyways. So I come into, so I'm on oil, right? Oil January contract, right? I come in and I add synthetic dollar index. It defaults to the candles version. I click OK, and it adds it, and it correctly displays. Ta-da! So I spent all of this time trying to figure out, okay, is there a better way in NinjaTrader to tell me which contract to use? And like, there is all of these methods to get information about an instrument, but only the instrument that's like on the main data series. So it doesn't help. So I literally had to go in and program the rollover dates and everything for the FX futures. It's basically 2 days before the third Wednesday of the month. So it was, and which is, it's not a trivial amount of code, but it's not a ton of code either. But it was just a big pain in the butt. And I was like, I can't believe I'm going to this amount of effort to do it. But if you want the feature, that's what you got to do, right? So I did it. Lou Boy D, it's been a while. Hey, thank you. Gotta cover your bases for the consumer, right? Yeah. I probably need to go in and add some things. I'm not quite sure which indicators would potentially have this problem, but like trying to add it to weird bar types, right? Yeah, they don't default to problem solving like I do. They just get confused and they're like, why doesn't it work? And then they send me an email. Yeah. So who was so somebody sent me a message this morning and I responded to them on Discord, but then I couldn't find where the message was. I was like, oh, that wasn't a private message? Where were they messaging me from? Now I can't find it. But they were saying that they had some friends that were having trouble trying to use the indicators in a strategy. So I was like, oh, hey, just come by the stream and we can talk about it. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, oh, I think I know exactly what the problem is. The problem is that my indicators are in a different namespace, but there are parts that NinjaTrader puts in there. So like when you make an indicator, there's like, it adds like code at the bottom, right? That code at the bottom, it gets put into the main NinjaTrader namespace. So when you're writing your code, it, you know, the IntelliSense and everything makes you think that you can use the indicator because it's using those helper methods that NinjaTrader adds at the bottom. But then when those helper methods try to actually call the indicator, you don't have that namespace loaded, and so it doesn't work. And that can really confuse people. So to add in my indicators to a strategy, you have to import my namespace at the top. So I'm almost 90% sure that that's guessing that that's what their problem was. But I'm like, I can't find where they had messaged me to look and respond to that. But I'm really happy with where our indicator's at. Like the more I've been thinking about this, the more I'm like, you know what, Seth? You've done something that's actually quite impressive. And like all in your spare time. There's, I'm just looking at this and I'm noticing there's actually more problems than just that because the colors of these bars aren't the same. So that's interesting. I can't imagine what would cause that. Let's see here. What Black Friday stuff you're going to take on? I have not really. Well, okay, so they are offering DaVinci Resolve for a discount, and I've been tempted to get that. But my wife is handling all of that. We got a budget, and I think that means I'm not getting anything. Probably us don't get anything, and we just get stuff for the kids. Oh, Rude, it was you. Yes, it was you. Okay, so did you hear my answer? Or let me show you an example. Oh, it was in the paid Discord. General. There we go. Yes. Okay, here. Let me show you this one. Where's strategies? Strategies. Yeah. Okay. So here is, I'm gonna make this big. Here is the script for my simple market order imbalance. So I think that I have this included in the package. Okay. But actually I should change that because you want to be able to see the code for this. Okay. But so here are the steps that you need to do to include an indicator in a strategy. Okay. The first thing is you need to make sure that the namespace is added into the using parts of the script. Okay. So here, using NinjaTrader, NinjaScript, indicators, speculator, Ceph. You have to add that. It will look like the IntelliSense all works and everything, and that you don't need to add this, but you do. So that's probably why they're having issues. Okay. The next thing is you want an instance variable for the indicator at the top of your script, like just underneath of the public class bit, right? I like to put an underscore in front of the name. That is kind of a shortcut that C# programmers know that says this is an instance variable. Okay, because you don't make a lot of indicators or variables like that, because most variable instance level variables you just have getters and setters for, and it does it for you automatically. Anyways, you need that. Then in state, in this instance I did it in configure. Sometimes you can do it in data loaded, but you need to set that instance variable to an instance of the indicator, right? Imbalance SPS market order imbalance, and then it has one parameter, which is the period. Okay. Once you've done that, you can just use it. So you can say, in this instance, I'm saying if the imbalance of 0, so the value of the imbalance at the current bar is above 0.5 plus a deviation trigger, then you enter long. So that's the simple part of it. If you've done all of that stuff and you're having an issue, I need to see the error message that you're getting. Blue Boy, in the Discord, do you cover these things, order flow and order book stuff? So the key things that you need to know to like understand and interpret order flow, I have a video series for. So you watch that video series. I was watching the second video of that where I took the chalkboard out because somebody commented on it. And I remember, oh yeah, the reason I didn't do that again was because the microphone didn't work very well. But I was actually like a really good video. I really liked watching it. Yeah, those videos are like the key things that you need to know about order flow. Okay. Now my indicators and like what my indicators are doing and stuff, that's a different thing. So I have one big video that explains all of the indicators. I'm going to split that out and like make new videos for the indicators, because that's kind of going to be a focus this next year. And then the programming bit is another topic. So I do have some videos about the programming, like explaining the basics of it to you, and then like making some strategies. I should probably make a video that just shows you that bit that I just showed you there. Maybe I will try that. I mean, I could just cut out what I just did, but I'm going to try and do like a dry run where I do it a little better and make a nice video about it sometime in December, I think. Okay, I do this, I understand this, and how to get the current buys or the current sells, etc. Okay, so here in underscore imbalance, we're just looking for the main data series, right? So there's like values. So if I went in here to underscore imbalance values. Okay, so underscore imbalance dot value of 0 is approximately equal to, is basically equal to underscore imbalance dot or of 0, right? Okay. Underscore imbalance dot values of 0 is approximately equal to underscore imbalance 0, I think, like that. Okay. So if an indicator hasn't been written correctly or something like that, you can always use those values to get it. And you just have to go into the indicator and count the data series, the one that you want. But I do have them named. So you can do underscore imbalance dot current buys of 0, like that. Okay, a while ago, you mentioned if there was one thing you could figure was who was behind the volume. And there is a thing called CTI 1234. Apparently, it is available end of day and on the bot. And I sent you a sample picture. Been on this for 3 days trying to find it. Finally sent CBOE and CME an email to figure out where to find it. Okay, let me see. Let's minimize this for a bit. Volume summary, price of volume, CTI L. Oh no, it's CTI 1. CTI 1, 2, 3, 4 brackets. Okay, what is that? CME CTI 1. Oh. Customer type indicator codes. Good morning, A. Paul. I share your sentiment and skepticism regarding the community. Definitely became a financial cult with the bad side effects you mentioned, but with the unstoppable network effects like, yeah. Well, and that's why it's like, for me, I kind of decided I didn't want to mess with it anymore. But there's absolutely probably still opportunity to make money from Bitcoin from buy and hold type strategies. I don't know if buy and hold at the moment is the best thing, but I don't think that they're done. I still think someday there's going to be like a catastrophic loss in Bitcoin that really truly kills it, but for now. Okay, so this is not necessarily telling you in identifying individual traders, but it sounds like it's determining, you know, how much of each type of person it was, right? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here it is. See me, customer type indicator codes. 1, 2, 3, 4. CTI 1, electronic trading, open outcry and privately negotiated, applies to transactions initiated and executed by an individual member for their own account, for an account they control, or for an account in which they have an ownership or financial interest. However, transactions initiated and executed by a member for the proprietary account of a member firm must be designated as CTI2 transactions. CTI2 applies to orders entered or trades executed for the proprietary accounts of a member firm. CTI3 applies to orders entered by a member or a non-member terminal operator for the account of another individual member or an account controlled by such other individual member. CTI3, open outcry and privately negotiated, applies to orders that a member executes on behalf of another individual member or for an account such other member controls or in which such other member has an ownership or financial interest. Oh, I'm sorry. So there's CTI3 and electronic, and then there's CTI3, open outcry and privately negotiated. And then there's CTI4, applies to all orders and transactions not included in the other categories. So you're saying that CTI, oh, right, because these ones are all executed by an individual member. So these ones down here are the people that aren't members. CTI4 is the ones that aren't members. Okay. So then the next question is, it's coming through here and it says, price. Is this just a volume profile of the day, or do prices repeat? It looks to me that this is kind of like a volume profile of the day. And it does it by hour? You can have it split out by hour. That's interesting. What does brackets mean? Well, this wouldn't allow me to do the kind of analysis that I would really be the most interested in would be the ability to identify individual traders and to identify this person bought X amount throughout the day or something like that, right? But we could probably do a completely different set of analysis. No, this is not that. It needs to have, there needs to be a separate data point for each individual person. Right. This is basically taking all of the volume and putting them into 4 different categories, right? But I can't come in and say, customer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they traded yesterday and they traded today. They can't do that, right? Yeah, now you're asking too much. Yeah. Well, but the reason that you would want that information is that's what you would need to be able to snuff out the positions of individual traders, right? Anyways, being able to separate out the retail traders from everybody else might be able to tell us something interesting, though. So I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah. So then there's this question that like, well, so right here we have the volume, 665. These must be percentages. $58.6. plus 28.7 plus 12.6 is 100. So that becomes more interesting. So it looks like most of the time retail is about 30%. Because see, I would expect the retail activity to be random, you know? So I don't know if you would get a whole lot from analyzing CTI4, but it might be interesting to see on CTI1, where is CTI1, where are they taking a larger percentage of the volume? You say CTI2 is the focus? Okay, sure. Where is CTI2 taking a larger percentage of things? Like that, they were 20.7 here at the top. That's like almost double what they normally do. Why is that? Right? Yeah, CTI1, that must be the market makers, essentially, huh? But perhaps there are situations where the market makers take on more than normal. And why would that be? Okay, by the way, I kind of got a little distracted here, so pull this back over here and that data also wouldn't be able to tell us open positions. It's just volume, right? So that's the other issue. I think that there is kind of stuff that tells you like open interest, but only like what the open interest is at the end of the week. You know, like those open interest reports that you get at the end of the week that we would get today, for instance. Let's take the dollar index back off here. Okay, let's see if that does not work. Wait, what? What? It still thinks it's at 0, even though that changed things for what I see when I... Oh, that's so weird. Oh, wait, is it because it wasn't actually the bar open, but the high and low? It must be the low. That still wouldn't make sense though, because the bar open should be up here, so it should be giving me like a huge doji sort of a thing. Yes, the low is 0. Maybe it's. No, that doesn't make sense either, though. Oh, so easy. So. Oh, the debugging here is just kind of a little. So this is a weird bug. Okay. Low key lo-fi. I like that name. Good morning. You know, there's the stream is doing better than I thought it would on a Black Friday. There is stuff that happens on Black Friday, but the S&P 500 is only just opening now, right? So. is that? Can you ask a question? Absolutely no questions allowed on this stream ever. That's all we do. That's all we do is we answer questions, and that's what we're here for. In fact, you shouldn't ask the ask questions. You should just ask the question. Like, it's been like a minute now, right? You could already have the answer if you just led with the question. Wait, what? If I misunderstood something. No, that's not right. Want to learn to trade Forex? Would you recommend price action or something else? Because I saw your videos. Okay, so yeah, AFOL says Forex is shady and should be avoided at all costs. I kind of agree. If you really want to trade currencies, you can trade FX futures on the CME. There's some real problems with trading Forex. There's like a real conflict of interest between you and the Forex broker. There's a reason why like all of the prominent Forex brokers keep getting kicked out of the US and everything. Okay. New ICT was BS, to be honest. I had hopes for smart money concepts, but that seems like snake oil. And you also say price action doesn't work, so I'm kind of at a loss here. Yeah, and order flow is something that does have some benefit, but you can't use order flow on FX because you don't get the full order flow. Even if you're going to do FX futures, that's only on the CME and it's not showing you the bulk of the volume, so it's kind of a problem doing it there. I mean, I guess the volume, that's a situation where you will see volume on your side, but it's like it's mostly from correlations and hedging, and so it's what it's telling you is different and might not necessarily help you explain where things are going. So if I was going to be trading currencies, the only thing that I know of that would be useful for currencies would be to swing trade them with momentum. Currencies show a degree of momentum, same as other markets do. I don't know how much or if it's like the best place to do it, but like if you can swing trade in currencies. If you're going to day trade though, I don't know of anything in, you know, any edge specific to currencies other than being an informed trader. Which, you know, I was always told that the FX desks were like the hardest ones to trade. That like the professionals knew that it was rough and that there was a lot of luck involved, and a lot of people preferred to go to other desks. So, for what it's worth. Does it matter which session to use your inventory cost indicator? I use it on the extended session, actually. So if you put it to the regular session, then you're only going to be calculating from the volume that's happened on the regular session. You know, that can be useful, potentially, but probably most of the time you're not going to get enough volume to really have useful stuff. And the things that I've kind of been seeing it with it have all been on the extended session. Kid finally waking up, as around 8 is where I would expect him to wake up. How do you trade futures? Order flow seems confusing. I watched your video and it went over my head. I'm more suited towards scalping. Yeah. Well, so which video? So have you watched the whole order flow video series? Because if you watch the whole order flow video series and then there's also a PDF. There's a PDF at speculatorset.com/strategy.html. And that also kind of has it. But the basic gist of it is this, is we look for things that can potentially predict future orders. We predict for each one of those things, we make an estimate about how much orders there's going to be. You don't have to be exact about it. We can just say that's going to be a lot or a moderate or a low amount. And then we add all of those things together. And if there's a situation where we see an imbalance, where the flows that we're expecting that day, we expect there to be a major imbalance, then we're looking for a trade, long or short. And then we're using the order flow. We're using things like catching the edge and icebergs to optimize our entries. And we're looking at things like the market order imbalance and cumulative delta to see if, you know, get the beginning signs that might suggest that that imbalance that we're expecting is actually happening. And we're going to look at as the way that it ticks up and ticks down, or as kind of like tea leaves for signs that our predicted imbalance might be there. And then, you know, when we get enough evidence to support our theory, then we take a trade. And that's basically the gist of it. Is it because it's bar 0? So I get like an on-market data event, right? And then I draw. In this last bar, it says that the values are 0. And it's getting that from these series. So The last on-market data was 34.91, and it should be getting them from 34.92. So they're offset. So it's only going long. Well, I wouldn't say only going long, but it's like if I come in today and I say, well, okay, so today is Black Friday. So we know that the movement is going to be basically based on what people think is happening on Black Friday, whether the sales are good or not, right? So that's usually a buy, right? So a buy in the S&P 500. The treasuries, probably unaffected. Well, it looks like today that in the treasuries it is buy, but I don't know why that is. Okay, but so now that we know that we're going long, then we're looking for the opportunity to get long, right? But it's not always going to be long. Sometimes that imbalance is short. I think what's going on is this bar is -1. So if I do this, does this result in errors? Does not. Well, that's interesting. That's even more interesting. I'm not sure which one is broken. Thank you for the info. I'll try learning as much as I can and practice. Trying something else here. Yeah, so it's saying it's putting it into this bar. How is it drawing the bar 3506 though? I really don't think that the bug is happening over here. And I guess I would call it a little bit more than a bug. Yeah. Hmm. See, this is actually bar -1. Wait, so what if I do that? I think if I do this, it will make it'll fix the one and it'll screw up the other. Or it'll just error. It'll say, no, you can't do anything on bar -1. Of course not. Yeah. Of course not. Of course you can't do -1. Hold on. Hold on. Is it because these data series are blank? So it's not actually calculating them? No. This is so effing weird. I have discovered something weird about NinjaTrader that so like this end value, it grabs that one correctly, but not any of the other ones. It's like the primary data series it works, but the rest of them it doesn't. Is that why he had them as in something else? Is that why in Sims he has them in different ones, because otherwise they're not updating correctly? But I put them into data series because I need to export the values. Oh, so very interesting. Well, it's 8 o'clock. I would like my kids to be awake. Well, they can sleep until 9 o'clock, but I think I should go check on them, because what I just discovered is not like, I thought that we were just gonna debug these things and like they'd be simple things and everything, but I've gotten pretty deep into a deep issue that maybe somebody else has solved. I'm kind of realizing. That I can't use the plots because like only the primary plot updates on the most recent bar or something like that. Like it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Because you can see there's bar 314. Doesn't have values. It only has the first value. Oh, no. It has the open. Oh, no. That's the bar. And then open. Well, I could do this. So I have this thing in here. Where was it? That was them awake. Yeah, it's only getting the open because I cheat. Okay, I'm going to try one more hack here. Of course, it's not going to solve that everything is offset by 1, but it'll make the last bar look correct at least. Aha. Oh, that's interesting. So it is offset. Right. These should all be over 1 bar. Or is it? This should be over 1. It seems to me that both of these are changing. So it seems to me that this should be over 1. So I think what's going on is this is bar 0. And this one, 1, 2, blah, 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 right? On this one, this is bar -1. This is bar 0. 1, 2. Yes. So what if I do this? Looks like the buyers are getting a little tired. No, well, actually, it looks like a sell is coming in. They had settled up there. This looks like a different meta order. Well, something's happening in oil. I'm thinking about this and now I'm going, is that because actually I've screwed something up? Without this bit of code, it should go back to what it was before, where there's a 0 down there. I know how I can go with this. The issue of like, is it having something to do with the way that I'm screwing up the drawing? Is to just remove these and here market order imbalance. First one. It does the same thing. It's funny that this one ends up being ahead of this one. I think this one is correct. Well, that's not right either. Or rather, that doesn't help me. think it should be like that though. Do you think it's my on bar up, my on bar close version that's screwed up? I'm actually a little confused now. I'm confusing myself. I've gotten so deep into it that I've like forgotten where I am at, and I'm confusing myself. Okay, so that is what I expected. Mm-hmm. I think what has happened here is that the stuff that I'm doing is not the drawing. It seems to me that the drawing is not compatible with on bar close. I'm going back through and I'm looking at them and I'm now realizing everywhere that I've ever used this drawing bars on a sub-series, I was doing it on each tick. So if I come back here, doing the drawing bit, get rid of this. Yeah. See, they're both drawing to bar. Oh. Bar 358. And bar 358 here is different from bar 358 here. So I think what I have to do is I have to say, like, if calculate on bar close, then it's slightly. Now, how does that work over on this? I can't really see it. It does have something. Oh, that makes me even more confused now. Because I wasn't expecting there to be a bar there. I think these two bars are copied. No. These two bars are copied. But oh, that's not right. Can we short Bitcoin now? I don't know. It seems dangerous to do it. It seems to me that Michael Saylor is still buying, trying to keep things pumped up there at the top. That did not do what I expected it to do. That did not do what I expected it to do. Wait, let's go back. That's weird. Oh, because it still just picks up the... I see. That's funny. You've been looking at the DOM for a month now, and it's still a mystery to you. Have you watched my order flow video series? Oh, I love from India. Well, thank you very much. I'll do that again. Okay. Well, first of all, it takes a little bit more time, but you do need to know what you're looking for. You do need to kind of understand some of the empirical properties of the order book and so forth first. And then your brain kind of picks up on what you're looking at. But it took me more than a month, I'll tell you that much. It took me more than a month to figure out what I was looking at. Oh yeah, that's right. I added these back in, thinking maybe that was the problem. Kind of is, but isn't. There we go. Why does that not change it? I think that this is making it see the future. Or is it that this one is late? I think that this one is seeing the future. Because the big change in volume is here. So this guy is getting volume 1 before it should. Oh, there we go. Okay. See, it's adding this stuff into bar 0, and it shouldn't. So I do think that you just comment this out. Maybe seeing a little change here in oil, by the way. Wait, that? Yes, I see. Okay. 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 Oh, that's interesting. So it comes back to this thing that's like, okay. I'm trying I'm talking about what I'm doing. I don't know how interesting this is to you guys. I appreciate all of you that are here, even if it might not be, you can't see everything that you're not, because there is some really complicated code that I don't really want to show you. But basically what was happening is, at the end of on market data, was updating some variables, and now I'm saying don't do that. And I'm saying use this other thing to use these other variables to determine what you're doing when you're here. And that was the thing that was causing the offset. I'm gonna do in here. Basically, I have created an on bar close indicator that calculates here, that calculates the latest bar, essentially. So like if I were to add in here, well, that's what would be a good one. What would be like the like MACD? MACD is probably like one of the most simple subseries that we can do, right? On bar close, MACD. Okay, and you see that it doesn't calculate for the current bar. And we've basically created something that does calculate on bar close that doesn't let you see the current bar. I should probably... Oh, that's so interesting. It really kind of makes me wonder about the whole, like, should you really actually use on bar on each tick? It's so weird the way they have it set up. So this isn't updating because it's not the latest value. I'm still, can you actually set bar -1? So I kind of think that you can, but maybe that's just with drawings. Huh. No, it just doesn't like that. So I think the answer is that you should not... Yeah, you should not. The answer is that you should not use on calculate on bar close, essentially. I can make it draw the latest bar if you are using my candle version, but it will not update the values over here. What is a DOM? DOM are these things. It stands for depth of market. That's a tiny little dot. Stands for depth of market, and it's showing you how many orders are at each price, how many limit orders are each price. So what we're doing is we're watching the changes in those. So I know there's 2816 at 03, and if we tick down, probably some of those 2800 are going to cancel. And I'm paying attention to how quickly do they cancel, how many of them cancel, and like every time that it does that, I'm noting that. So probably every time that it ticks down, I'm probably going to see 700 cancel or something like that. And if it ticks down and all of a sudden like 2000 cancel, then I'm like, oh, hold on. There was something different about that, right? What is your view on synthetic indexes provided by Deriv? Well, I haven't heard of Deriv, but synthetic indexes, absolutely a valuable thing, because that's basically what my dollar index here is. I mean, being able to like make your own index of something can be really useful feature. Yes. Really, so I guess I have two issues with the way that NinjaTrader does things. One is that when you're doing it on each tick, the on market data occurs before the on bar update method. So if you're doing something, updating things in the on bar update, it's always going to be one market event behind, essentially. But then the other issue that I have is that the bars, the numbers on the bars are essentially referenced differently depending on which calculate method you're using. And it should be consistent between them. Oh, that's my name. Trust me, they are legit. It has so many pips to gram. So what do you have a bunch of different ones that you've made up? What are included in them? What are they trying to show? Get set to that one because that's 0. That's why. So you just can't do that. So if I just don't do that, then you get this. That looks more correct. And then you get this issue of like, okay, technically, if it's on bar close, I just shouldn't be drawing that, right? So probably actually what I do is I say if we're on the 2 index and calculate on bar close and return. And that's probably going to change it so that this one doesn't update either. Change on that one's good. Oh, no, never mind. It will make it's 1 tick behind those. What it is. It's 1 tick behind this. But that prevents that from printing. Hold on. Ta-da! That is correct. Yes. Okay. Rurd asks, are on-bar update and on-market update somehow synced or not? On-market should have many more events. No. Yeah, okay. Well, okay, so let me explain it to you. So if you use on each tick, then when you get an event, we're going to say, here's an event that happens. Then the bar close, or not, bar update. Let's see, that's what it is, right? Bar update gets called. And then on market data gets called. Okay. Whereas if it's the other way, if it's on bar close, then it's basically you get on market data. It gets called a bunch of times, and then at the very end, the on bar update gets called, right? Makes sense. So this is on tick, and this is on bar close. Okay. So you can see here that like the order of these is switched up. Right? So here's what typically happens is you say every time that volume comes in, I compare the best bid and best offer and I do some calculations and so forth, right? So at that point, and then I save it into a variable. So at that point, I've saved into that variable the most updated, the most up-to-date calculation, right? But because the on-bar update gets called first, right? I've done this calculation after it's already updated the bar. You get what I'm saying? So the value that the indicator is showing you is always one market data event behind, because it's showing you the calculation from the last time that on market data was. Does that make sense? Basically, you would think that on market data gets called first, and that's not the case. So you basically always have to deal with this situation where it's like the previous data, the data from the previous call is there, and yeah. Basically, with the way that it's written, it's like if you set the indicator up to work on each tick and you've designed it that way, then it should work correctly. But if you switch it, then it might be weird. And vice versa. So maybe I can express this. Maybe I can show you this a different way. I'm just gonna make this really big. Maybe I can make one of their indicators do it. That would be funny if they have that problem. So if I add buy, sell volume, and the second one, I'm going to make on bar close. Yep. That's so funny. That's so funny. So if you make an indicator that is intended to be calculate on each tick, you do everything, it's fine. Great advantage of an on each tick is you will see updates on the current bar. You'll see updates right here, right? Okay. But if you are using, if you want it to do both, if you want it to work on each tick and on bar close, you have a problem. You can make it work. I've made it work, but it's like a huge mess to make it work for both, essentially. See, what they've done is they've said, oh, it should work on each tick, and if you don't, then I'm going to complain. But interestingly enough, it doesn't draw that until it gets to this last bar. And then it stops drawing stuff. That's funny. Because did you see that when we first did it? Let me refresh. Oh, actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. It's actually 2 bars behind. Loki says, oh, you didn't answer my question. Which question did I not answer? Or did you ask more questions and I just didn't see them? The last question I saw you ask was, what's your view on synthetic indexes provided by Deriv? And I said, well, I don't know what they are. coming. Shame on you guys coming in here and trying to do your guerrilla marketing tactics on my stream and yada yada yada. At the very least, I expect you to promote my indicators at speculatorseth.com in return. But the concept of a synthetic index, that's what my dollar index is. And I find it a useful concept. Oh, okay. What is a DOM and what trading platform did you use? Okay, I forgot that second part, but I did kind of answer the other question. Okay, so, but to review, DOM stands for depth of market, and it is this thing that you see on your screen right here. Each one of these is a separate DOM. So it's showing you the limit orders placed on the exchange at each available price level. So the minimum tick size in the 10-year treasury is half of a 30-second. That's why it goes 31, 31 half, 111 even. Okay, so that's the minimum price fluctuation, and then it's showing me this right here. This blue column is buys, so that's 788 or whatever number it is at the time. Limit buy orders at that price. And the same with this orange red column is the offers. Okay. And as for which trading platform I use NinjaTrader for my charts, and I use Jigsaw Day Trader for my DOM. So the DOM is coming from a different platform. So what was I doing over here again? Oil. Oh, I have two of these. Oh yeah, I added that one to test something. Yeah. Oh, this one's always two behind. That's funny. That's even more funny, actually. Okay, but do you see how like they've got it? It's like this. Because basically, this is bar 0 in this one, and this is bar 0 in this one. And so you basically, all of your logic and calculations have to deal with this offset. And what had happened, the reason I was getting the bug was I had dealt with that offset, but I was also setting stuff in bar 0 in the on-market data, and I was not accounting for the offset in the on-market data. So basically, every time on-market data was called, it was screwing up the adjustments that I had made in the on-bar close version of the indicator. And that's why I had the problem. And so what I changed was I told it, you don't draw the most recent bar. I could, like, the data is there and I can draw it, but then it doesn't update the price markers. So that's kind of confusing to people. So it's just, if you do it on bar close, it's just not going to draw it. The funny thing about it is that in practice, you're going to add the on each tick version of the indicator. In fact, I should check that. Make sure that that is, yeah, on each tick. Did not have that as the default. But you will need a version that calculates on bar close for back testing purposes. So I wonder how you deal with that. Do you have to come into the strategy itself here? Which one? Where is my strategy? Do I have to come into my strategy here and say underscore imbalance dot calculate equals calculate on bar close? Or does NinjaTrader just deal with it and it's fine anyways? I don't know. If you have it calculate on each tick and there's not tick replay turned on it, then it should just be grabbing the thing from the cache and it's fine. So I actually think that I don't need to do that. I actually think that I can just do it that way. Well, you know what? I've done all the work to make them work both ways. But probably the easy way to do it is what NinjaTrader did and just say, oh, if you change it to on bar close, tell them you're not supposed to use it that way. Oh man, it's so funny. It's so funny that that's the way it is. But anyways, that should solve the problem though. Well, now I'm thinking about it. Do I actually want to get rid of the... So here's another question. Why doesn't everything just be on each tick? I guess these indicators that you don't do anything until the bar closes. Then you look at the value of the indicator, I suppose, but... So like you can do it, oh yeah, let's try this. Let's try a different experiment. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's come in here. And we have indicators. And we have the SMA. Let's add the SMA twice and make the first one be on each tick. Oh. Oh wait. They're probably both there, huh? They're just on top of each other and so you can't see them. I can just do it like this. I can say, make one of them be blue and like 3 pixels. Yeah. Oh, no, why does SMA not have this problem? Oh. This is a different version of, this is not what I remember SMA looking like. Bars array dot bars type dot is remove last bar determines if the bars type can use the remove last bar method when true, otherwise an exception will be thrown. There's the kids are awake. You know what? It's time to end the stream anyways, so I fixed it. There might be some more stuff to learn though. Guys, I will catch you later. Stay excellent.